Is Dan Campbell on the hot seat?
This game is a must-win. The theatrics, so everything, all the helmet on, the crying at the press conference, that rah-rah stuff only lasts so long. I love Dan Campbell, but he said it himself. If it doesn't come with wins, it's all for nothing.
The city and the players will lose faith in him. The double shot, the kneecaps is really something that I want to do.
Yeah.
I really want to call her back tomorrow. Like,
pick up your shit.
Come on. There's only so much we can take.
It's hard to not like Dan Campbell after what you saw out of him in Hard Knocks and different stuff like that when you're looking from an outsider's perspective on the city of Detroit and the state of the Detroit Lions. But Dan Campbell, they brought it up on the morning show about different coaches that might be on the hot seat, what's going on there. And if Dan Campbell loses this week against the Washington Durs, against the DC Durs, Dan Campbell on the hot seat for this job with the Detroit Lions?
Honestly, as much as I hate to say it, I think so at this point. I've been saying this all week, guys. I think this game is a must-win, not just because of what it means to the season, because obviously we've been over the stat of 0-2 teams that haven't made the playoffs since 2018. There hasn't been a team that started the season 0-2 to make the playoffs. On top of the fact that when you're just as charismatic or just expressive as Dan Campbell is. I mean, crying at the podium, all the crazy speeches, all the crazy like motivating tactics, the baby powder on the jeans and stuff like that. Like when you believe
that was a little cringe.
That was a little cringe.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's the point I'm getting to here too. Is like when you trust that human being who's doing those things, you're searching for the message in those conversations. You know what I'm saying, when that trust is broken, however, you're then able to laugh and you know what I'm saying, mock them a little bit, because it's all led to nothing at this point. You know what I'm saying? All the theatrics, everything, all the helmet on, the crying at the press conference and stuff like that. Yeah, those are true feelings, and they can even be true words. But at this point, without a victory over a team, again, that I think they're expected to win against, and maybe if there's a couple of injuries, maybe it'd be a little bit more easier to swallow. But no, man, I think that rah-rah stuff only lasts so long. And you need to win for it to matter, for it to even like have any type of resonance with you at all. You're so distracting. I never do this shit when you're talking. You're such a piece of shit. But I think those words start to lose a little bit of weight in them. And let me get it like straight to like, I love Dan Campbell. You know what I'm saying? I'm just excited as you guys are. Mm-hmm. The things he said, the culture he's brought, I believe all that stuff is very true. But he said it himself. If it doesn't come with wins, it's all for nothing.
Yes.
And if, again, you said, what, 15 games at this point out of 19 we would have lost?
Yeah.
It's not a good look.
It's not a good look.
It's not a good look.
It is not a good look. I kind of want to push back on it a little bit because we know what he was brought into. We know the roster he was given. It was a decimated roster. It was nothing that was going to win any games anytime soon. He is rebuild. They're in a rebuild, flat out.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I didn't expect them to win much this year. I had them at 7-10. I didn't expect them to make the playoffs. This game, I expected them to win. I had this as their first win. I still expect them to win. If he goes out there and loses, I don't know if he'll be on the hot seat per se, because he still has time. He still doesn't have his full team yet. I feel like people realize that.
That's fair.
The defense still needs a lot of work. He still doesn't have his guy at quarterback. He has made some nice changes to try to improve that offense. But it definitely doesn't make you feel comfortable about his position.
Yeah, I guess, let me say too, like, I guess in terms of like realistically him getting fired over, or like actually being on a hot seat and being terminated at the end of the year, no, I don't say that I foresee that be the situation. But I'm just talking about my belief in Dan Campbell.
It will definitely,
and the players as well.
The city and the players will lose faith in him for sure.
Yeah.
If he goes, because like he said, like you said, mustache itching my nose. Like he said, like you said, they need wins. You know, the rah-rah, that stuff's cool. The double shot, the kneecaps, all that.
It becomes a joke.
It becomes a joke. If you're going, come on, man, I love you guys, man. You just got to believe in me, man. Like,
yeah.
We can only believe in you to a certain extent until we start winning.
Yeah.
So you'll definitely take everything with a grain of salt. And maybe the stuff you saw, you know, before where it was like, hell yeah, Dan Campbell crying at the post games, getting these guys hyped up. I love that. I love that energy. After this loss, maybe you're like, all right, man, shut up. Go out there and win a game. Maybe his players look at that stuff like, all right, Dan, come on. Like, we need to start winning the game. Stop it with the baby powder.
Yeah.
We need to win some games. Maybe that is what happens in the locker room. But I don't think he's on the hot seat just yet, even if he loses this week. But you'll definitely start to look at him a little differently. Look at him in a little different, shade.
His leadership will 100%
15 losses in your first 19 games, no matter how bad your team is, does not leave a good taste in anybody's mouth.
Yeah, because as much as you could say the roster, watch the Commanders. They haven't had a roster in quite a bit, I'd say. They've managed to, like he said, they've managed to float and stay average. I think you look again at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, they ended up with a worse record than us. However, they beat some pretty good teams within there. You know what I'm saying? I think the Jets are an example of that too. The Jets, I think, have a horrendous roster.
Yeah.
I mean, they have maybe quite a few spots that I'm sorry, hey, but the coach over there, I can't think of his name. Robert Saleh. He's able to muster up a couple wins with something I think is even worse. You know what I'm saying? But what else, Sus? I know you wanted to speak on this one.
Well, you went to it easy when you said that it's not hot seat, it's that he loses the locker room. Or Spencer, you were the one that said that. And that's what this is to me. Is he on the hot seat? Hot seat to me is you're being fired. So realistically, no, after an 0-2 start. But you do lose the locker room. And the reason I just can't see the Lions firing Dan Campbell mid-season unless it's something horrendous.
No. I'm not saying that at all.
Truth be told, they're also okay with with getting a quarterback in the draft. Like they do not want to lose this season, but I think they would ride it out even if they realize that he's not the guy right now.
Yeah, and
worst case scenario, I'm saying.
Yeah, it's just not good. You know what I'm saying? There's 100% trouble in paradise, and all this stuff you find endearing.
Honeymoon's over.
Becomes a joke.
Honeymoon's over. The post-nut syndrome starting to wear in.
Yeah,
starting to be
that's a perfect way to say it.
Shit, is this really something that I want to do? Do I really want to call her back tomorrow? Am I leaving, money for Uber and I'm dipping? Yeah. You're starting to look at it differently if you lose here against the Commanders.
I used to have this girlfriend, and she used to say, because I'm messy. I'm a messy guy.
Yeah.
And I leave a message. She'd be like, oh, it's so cute. I leave messages year 2 in the relationship. It's not cute anymore. It's like, pick up your fucking shit.
Come on, fat ass, clean up everything.
Yeah, 100%. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's one of those situations, man. It's no longer cute. JB, are we tripping or what? Are you nervous for Dan Campbell? If we lose this game, are you like, fuck? You get a little post-nut clarity?
If we lose this game, I'm not nervous, but my faith in him is probably going down a little bit more. As Spencer and you guys said, you start to lose that connection and that relationship in the locker room. If anything, you're starting to lose fans at Ford Field.
Yes.
Because, come on. There's only so much that we can take. We want wins out here, but give the man some credit. He's only in year 2 of 6 of his contract.
I agree.
He's still getting guys in there that he really wants, and he really sees that can play out there. So give the man a little bit of credit. He's not in the hot seat, but it is getting a little warm.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's a bar.
That's a bar. That's actually a perfect way to sum it up.
Yeah.
It's not a hot seat, but it's getting warm.
For sure.